Hey guys, I thought I would do a quick update and chat. I'm not going to show you the whole rest of this room for the whole entire video. We'll go to the cleanest spot in the room and then we'll have a little check-in and chat. Okay, I got homemade kombucha because I'm turning into a kombucha girl. I can't drink the SCOBY yet though. It grosses me out a little bit. Anyway, that's a side note. I thought I would check in and chat. I really wanted to come and by now do what I'm thinking for next year, but I'm waiting for something that's coming in the mail right away so I can actually physically show it to you. So as soon as that comes in the mail, I'll do another video. But it's been a little while and I've kind of missed YouTube, doing that 12-week Charlotte Mason vlog. That was really fun. And it was right in the throngs of how we were finishing our year. So it was very, very good. And now I kind of miss coming and chatting and seeing what we're doing, but at the same time, we're in summer mode, so there's not a lot of useful content, I feel like, to come and talk to you guys about. So I thought I will do a check-in and chat. I want to talk a little bit about summer, and some of our, I don't want to say ethical goals, but some of our goals for our mindset for summer. I thought that would be a useful topic to chat about today. And then I will hopefully show you guys what is going into next year when that gets here. But heads up, I have a very busy summer. We're away a lot this summer. Kids at Bible camp. We're helping at Bible camp for a week. We're away for swimming. We're going to go see my sister in BC. We have medical trips for 2 weeks of our summer. We'll be in Winnipeg. So there's just a lot going on, and I don't plan to do a lot of online content, but I do plan to pick that up after mid-August. So I will be very sporadic until then. Who knows? Maybe I can get into making some shorts or something like that. Anyway, but on Instagram, I'm seeing all these videos about 90s summer, which is super fun. I was born in 88, so 90s was my time, I guess, for my summer memories too. And I've just been enjoying some of the nostalgia with that. And also that pre-phone era. My mom never had a phone in her face. I mean, she loved talking on the phone. She was on the phone with friends a lot. She's very social. My mom was either with someone having coffee every afternoon or on the phone having coffee with someone. So that's really cool. I mean, I love that though, that there wasn't this phone in hand, this scrolling stuff, right? So that's been on my mind. It's been on my mind to check myself for that. It's also been a really great time of year to see my kids' creativity. And so I was posting a little bit about creativity and boredom and stuff, those kinds of thoughts this morning. So this year we are not schooling year round for summer, so we are taking an actual summer break, which we started again last year, and we really felt rejuvenated with that. So we're going to go with that strategy again this year. No promises about the future though. And I have been loving watching my kids this year outside. And what they've been up to, or even inside. They are getting to this really sweet spot of creativity and imaginative play. So I have kids, my oldest is 10, almost 11, next is 8, almost 9, and then I have a 5-year-old who will be 6 in the fall. And I just love where they're at. But I was thinking, how did we get here? How did we get to the place where they could go outside and the ideas just keep on coming. They keep imagining more things, and their game gets even more complex and fun and silly, and they're using all kinds of things, whether it be in nature or toys that we have or whatever. And they're in a real sweet spot for ages too, because my oldest son doesn't think he's too cool for all this gameplay, and my youngest is completely in there with her ideas. And she's got quite a leadership streak in her too. So even though she's the youngest, she kind of comes and leads the troops in a way. Anyways, and I was thinking about a few different things. First of all, being outside. My kids aren't outside unless I model being outside. So I think that for the last couple of years, my modeling being outside for long periods of time has rubbed off. And I think that it takes time. This rubbing off, this giving our kids, monkey see, monkey do, giving them the role first that they can then fall into. It is time consuming. I feel like there was a time where I was very motivated to make sure my kids were outside all the time, make sure they were playing imaginatively and thinking through all that. But I wanted it right now. And I think that you can see fruit from that kind of modeling fairly quickly, but I feel like the more and longer this has gone on intentionally, the more we're seeing now. Like now my kids don't necessarily need me to be around to inspire their creative play or whatever. But a few different elements for that. So number one is outside, me getting outside. A lot of times now, I mean, when they were younger, perhaps my outside time did look like, hey, what can we do out here? Let's, I'll lead you through the woods. What can we find in the woods? And there's a leading, but then there's also like this hands off that also needs to happen, because I want my kids to know how to explore nature, appreciate nature, and just play outside without me needing to handhold them. I don't want to be a helicopter parent. That is not my aim. So somehow we have to couple leading the way, especially if your kids are at a place where they don't know what to do. My kids have had that too, especially in years gone by, where they're like, there's nothing to do out here, Mom. And so in that way, we have to lead the game. Sometimes we have to be like, let's go dress up. We're going to go get dress up clothes. And then we're going to take them outside and we're going to like imagine that we are pirates or explorers or whatever. I have boys, so I guess it always leads to that. Or sometimes playing house. Making a mud kitchen out of whatever. You don't need a mud kitchen to play mud kitchen. You just need some dirt and a cup. Even an old sour cream container. One of the first times I took my kids to the beach with friends when they were quite small, I realized, wow, we don't have beach toys. So I loaded up sour cream containers, and I have like a different set of silverware that I only use for sending meals to the field at the farm. They're not my good silverware. And I took a bunch of those spoons, and they loved that. And in fact, the sour cream containers were so good at making sandcastles that their friends were borrowing their stuff. And I remember thinking, wow, like this is stuff I just had around the house. Like you don't need to go and get all the toys and all the things that are for all the different activities outside. So even though we do tend to have toys, like my kids, we're on the farm, so I mean, we've got mom and dad's quad, and we have a little like moped that is child-sized. In the winter, we have a child-sized Skidoo. So I can't say that we don't have toys. But what I probably try to stay away from is all the toys and all the things that, you can buy things that are used for a specific purpose. Like if you buy a sand toy set, it's meant to play in the sand with. If you buy specific outdoor kitchen stuff, that's just for kitchen play. I'm trying to think of just anything outside. Some of the water toys you buy all this stuff, but it's for a specific purpose. And some toys are awesome because that you can do multiple things. You can play multiple games with them. You can use your imagination in multiple different ways. But there are other toys that you can't. It's meant for this one thing. So child goes outside, child picks up toy, does the toy thing, and that's it. And so that's the kind of stuff that I try not to accumulate too much around here. Anyway, getting outside. And then secondly is flexing the creativity and imaginatory play muscles. Those two, I think, have been key that I have had to almost help my kids start flexing. But I'm at the point now this summer, I don't have to flex with them at all. My outside time looks like me watering the garden, or weeding, and they're playing. I mean, sometimes they're helping too, but that they can see me be outside, spend time outside. It makes them motivated to get outside. But those creativity and imaginative play muscles, we have been trying to flex for a long time. And this year, I feel like, oh yeah, we're finally getting it. I want to say this is like our third very intentional summer for that kind of stuff. So if you're in a place where like my kids just aren't imaginative, my kids just aren't creative, I would challenge you that it may be a matter of practice, because I think those are muscles that all of us have to flex. Okay, I had a little interruption, little kombucha break. Anyway, so those muscles are something that you can flex. Imaginative play, I imagine like all the drama things, all the games, all the story that your kids can act out while they're playing. And sometimes that has in the past looked like me acting it out. once in a while, if they're bored, I can't think of a time this year, but if they're bored, sometimes I'll give them ideas for a storyline. You know, what do you want to be today? You know, maybe it's to do with a book that you're reading. This summer we're reading the Green Ember series. We're on book 2 right now. You know, it can be a book story. It can be a period of history. It usually helps if it's something that your kids know a little bit about. Like after we did our Middle Ages this year, my kids can play Knights and Castles forever now, and they have a lot of ideas and juices flowing for their story in their play. So that can be good suggestions if you can find an avenue that they might know a little bit about. And then that other muscle that they flex is just the creativity muscle. And this is something I think that can really build, but I think that it's something that can really stump. Especially if you're going outside and you're like, go find a stick to play with, you know, like that can be challenging. And I find that, again, if we can not handhold, but if we can influence them, if we can play with our kids, really, that is one of the biggest things. I know sometimes I just want to sit on my deck and sip iced tea and watch them play. But if we can get in there and play with our kids and, oh, you want to build something? What can we use? Get some string. We can use those sticks. We can, you know, my son wants to turn his kayak into a sailboat. And I'm like, please don't wreck the kayak, but what ideas do you have? Let's make some plans on paper. Like, let's build stuff. We are really fortunate. We live on the farm. We have a river behind our house. We have a lot of space and different things just in our yard. So I suppose we have an advantage creatively there. But regardless, things you can bring outside, bubbles, paintbrushes, stuff that you're willing to get the elements on it, I guess, too. Just things that they can do out of doors, that would be something that they have to use their own brain juices for. Maybe it looks like just bringing some of your other toys outside. What if they played Lego outside? You know, there's a risk of losing pieces. Maybe you can set some parameters for that. But I remember when I was a kid, we loved taking our like Littlest Pet Shop toys and stuff like that outside. That was so special. And we had to be so careful to make sure we brought all of our toys back in. But it was so fun to play with our little pets when they actually had like a little pasture to be in and stuff. So those are just some ideas. Anyway, so intentionally this summer, I want less screen time, which we're pretty good with family screen time, but personally, I want to be on my phone less. I have worked out my work arrangements so I don't actually have to work for a big chunk of the summer. So that will help me be off screens a little bit more. It might mean me getting off of social media a little bit more. I don't tend to be one that pre-posts and pre-schedules things. That can work for some people. It hasn't been something that I really enjoy anymore because I like to sort of share on the fly. That's more my style on Instagram and even on YouTube here and stuff. So I think I might have to just be willing to pull back a little bit, and that's fine. Sometimes giving up momentum on social media, you pay the price, but it's a price I'm absolutely willing to play if it's going to impact my family. So I'm going to be very intentional to pull away from screens more. I know that when we're out at camping at the lake, something I love to do is just, we're out of service too, cell service when we're out there, but I love to say, like, you only pick up your phone to take pictures. That's it. And so I'm pretty good at that. So I'm looking forward to that, and I really want to prioritize outside time hours. It's hard to juggle as a mom. I find that the juggle with the house is really difficult because you feel like, man, you really should be doing those dishes. And if the garden is already weeded, like, then what? But I want my kids to play outside. So again, I have to model doing recreation, leisure things outside too, if that's what I want from them. So we're trying to start our summer with, sharing chores, working together on house things. As my kids are getting older, that's been something my husband's encouraging me to do too, is like, you can get the kids to do that too, so we're getting a little bit better at building up their chores, maybe another level from where they were before, so that we can work together on the house, so that we can have that outside time together too. When everybody's doing their own thing, if everybody's separated, then the kids aren't seeing me model outside and I'm not getting any help in the house. So that'll be another kind of goal for the summer. So anyway, I hope in a nutshell that was kind of a good little chat about thoughts for the summer. What are your summer plans? How is your summer strategy for getting your kids outside, for getting them to play creatively, maybe out of the box? Oh, the other thing I was going to mention is time. Oh, this spring with like swimming and, well, I guess swimming is the summer. What did we have this? We had archery and we had soccer 3 nights a week this spring. Like that was a huge amount of time. And that was something that I really realized we also don't do good with being outside, imaginative and creative, creatively playing when we have a lot on our schedule. And so even though we're going to be away a lot this summer, I am planning to try to say no more to the sort of scheduled sort of activities. We need blank spaces on our days. Even if it's just, well, it's only an hour if we go there. If it's on the calendar, your whole day, you're thinking about it, you're ready for it. It kind of, your whole day has to revolve around that commitment that you've made or that sport you have to attend. So I mean, I guess we're just not a super sporty family. So some families are, and they have competitions, and summer can be really busy. But I think that is one thing that does facilitate the goals that I am looking for my family and that would fit my family, is to kind of try to do less organized, scheduled things. Maybe there's some opportunities to do things like library time, the library stuff that we sign up for. We can attend or we don't have to attend. If it's a beautiful day, maybe we don't go. If it's raining, maybe we're really happy to go. So those sorts of activities are more attractive to me in the summer than actual like set, like here come Tuesdays and Thursdays for this. So, oops, excuse me. So yeah, those are my thoughts. If you have strategies, let me know in the comments how things are gonna go. Maybe even mention if there's something that you're like, you know, I think I'm going to give that up, or I think I'm going to change that this year. Share that with us too, because that's really, it's really good for us moms to relate to each other. We all are coming at life from a different perspective too. You know, someone who lives in the city is going to have different things than I talk about sometimes because I'm in the country. And so it's really helpful if we can just share with one another and know that, oh, look, that mom is making changes too. She didn't have it all together, you know, because that is something that I definitely don't have. The biggest challenge for me is going to be modeling less screens. I have been on my phone a lot lately, especially, you know, being away, and I do a lot of work on social media and on my computer. And so that is probably my most challenging thing. I'm not satisfied with the screen time that I model for my kids. I want less. So that's going to be my big challenge this year. Let us know what your big challenge is this year. What are you challenging yourself with to change that will be a real benefit to your family this summer? Anyway, that is today's chat. And yeah, we will talk to you guys in the next video. I hope to show you guys what I have in store for next year as I'm setting up. I don't have every little nook and cranny pieced out because I like to fly by the seat of my pants a little bit, but I do have a few plans. So I'm really excited to share those with you guys as soon as the mail comes in. Bye.